The Xanue befriending the Bigfoot Forest people. You're listening to the reading of the book written by Dr. Matthew A. Johnson, and we are now on Chapter 3, The Mustard Seed. I'm Willie Rose. The mustard seed is one of the smallest seeds on the earth. Mustard seeds are the small, round seeds of various mustard plants. The seeds are usually about 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter, 0.039 to 0.079 inches, and may be colored from yellowish white to black. Most seeds on the earth don't get much smaller than this. Just a public service reminder, I'm not interjecting my Christian faith into the Xanue phenomena. As you previously read, I had been soured by the hypocrisy of many Christians in the church. I simply spent almost 2 decades in search of the truth regarding the Bigfoot phenomena. It was the Xanue who led me to this conclusion. I'm merely the messenger conveying to you what Zorth and the Council of 12 would like you to know. Please don't shoot the messenger. When Jesus ministered on the earth for 3 years before his crucifixion and resurrection, he said the following to the 12 disciples. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you. Luke 17:6. Then Jesus told them, I tell you the truth, if you have faith and don't doubt, you can do things like this and much more. Matthew 21:21. Did you catch that? Do you understand what Jesus said to his disciples? Once again, Jesus more or less said, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed and don't doubt God, you can do things like this and much more. That's right. We can do things like this and much more. Wow. All it takes is a little itty-bitty faith about the size of a mustard seed, and we can perform apparent miracles too. It's very important to understand the above and to truly let it sink into your mind if you're going to be able to make sense out of the rest of this chapter. All of the above seems like hogwash to most humans because we aren't all running around turning water into wine, healing the sick, walking on water, raising the dead, helping the blind to see and the lame to walk, or calming storms. Therefore, Jesus must have simply been messing with his disciples' minds by telling them that they could pull off the apparent miracles that he was doing, knowing full well that they couldn't. What a prankster or jerk, right? Now, wait a minute. Buckwheat. In my short 58 years on this planet, I've seen a few humans who were able to replicate some of the miracles that Jesus said we could all do if we had the faith the size of a mustard seed. In short, I've seen humans being used by God to heal others. I have a friend who's a traveling pastor, and God uses her faith to heal many people. I've seen the power of prayer change the course of an individual's physical, psychological, and or spiritual life. I've seen the love of Christ transform the souls of many people, including my own. That's a freaking miracle of faith. Did you know that Jesus was falsely accused by the Pharisees and Sadducees of being possessed by a demon? The Jewish religious leaders of the day alleged that Jesus was casting out demons because he was possessed himself by Satan. How crazy is that accusation? Then Jesus entered a house, and again a crowd gathered, so that he and his disciples were not even able to eat. When his family heard about this, they went to take charge of him, for they said, he is out of his mind. And the teachers of the law who came down from Jerusalem said, "He is possessed by Beelzebub, by the prince of demons. He is driving out demons." So Jesus called them over to him and began to speak to them in parables. "How can Satan drive out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan opposes himself and is divided, he cannot stand. His end has come. In fact, no one can enter a strong man's house without first tying him up. Then he can plunder the strong man's house. Truly, I tell you, people can be forgiven all their sins and every slander they utter, but whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will never be forgiven. They are guilty of an eternal sin." He said this because they were saying, "He has an impure spirit." Mark 3:20-30. Okay, let's do a quick review. The Xanue want everyone to know that God is very real and that He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. This includes being the creator of all sentient beings. The human race rebelled against God in the Garden of Eden, but the Xanue obeyed. The human race is disconnected from God, one another, and the earth. On the other hand, the Xanue are connected with God, one another, and the earth. The Xanue also want everyone to know that Jesus Christ is God's only begotten Son. Everything was created by Him, for Him, through Him, and He holds all things together, i.e., the God particle. During His 3 years of ministry on the earth, Jesus performed many miracles. His own family thought He was out of His mind. They probably would have had Jesus committed to a psychiatric hospital if there was one in Israel 2,000 years ago. He told His disciples that if they had the faith the size of a mustard seed, one of the smallest seeds on the planet, they could do what He did and more. The Jewish religious leaders accused Jesus of casting out demons because He was possessed by Beelzebub, or Satan. Jesus more or less told the Pharisees and the Sadducees that they were going to hell because they committed the unforgivable sin, i.e., blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, accusing Jesus of having an impure spirit. With all of the above stated, I have to ask this question for you to wrestle with. Lord knows that I've wrestled with it off and on for many years. Based on the fact that there have been many numerous reports about the Xanue alleging that they possess paranormal abilities, i.e., cloaking, mind speak, reading through memories, healing, seeing into the future, orbs, etc. How do they manage to pull it off? Are the Xanue possessed by demons, or do they have the faith the size of the largest seed in the world? The coco de mer, which is the seed of a palm tree. It can reach about 12 inches, 30 centimeters long, and weigh up to 40 pounds, 18 kilograms. If the Xanue are possessed by demons, or in fact happen to be demons, then why are they so interested in helping humanity reconnect with God and Jesus Christ? Why do they want to help humanity reconnect with one another and the earth? Why do they heal people? For Pete's sake, they saved my life by getting rid of the humongous deep vein thrombosis, the DVT in my left leg, that went from my groin to my knee. The vascular surgeon was flabbergasted. He just sat there with Cynthia and me with an amazed look on his face. He said, "You should be dead a bazillion times." It was a miracle. According to the Bible, demon-possessed people can be extremely violent. Matthew 8:28, and self-destructive, Mark 5:2-5. They lose all sense of decency, Luke 8:27. The Bible also shows that demons can possess or influence people to make them spiritually, psychologically, and physically sick. Why do so many people who I've come to know over the past 20 years claim, including myself, that their faith in God and Christ has grown exponentially because of their relationship and interactions with the Xanue? Finally, why are the Jujiko, i.e. fallen angels and demons, trying to stop the Xanue from sharing their message with the human race? It makes no sense at all. Jesus said that Satan doesn't work against himself because a divided kingdom will not survive. What we do know is that Jesus said if we had the faith the size of a mustard seed, we could perform the miracles that he did and do more than what he's done. Please keep in mind that the Xanue never fell from grace in the Garden of Eden. Unlike the rebellious human race, the Xanue chose to obey God. Therefore, to this very day, they continue to commune with God and Jesus Christ via faith the size of a coco de mer seed, the largest seed in the world. They have absolutely no problem at all with living and walking by faith. On the other hand, the human race has to struggle with conjuring up enough faith to equal the size of a mustard seed. No wonder why the Xanue keep their distance from the human race. They're pure in heart, and the human race is, well, not so pure in heart. Lord, please forgive us and help us, for we all know not what we do. Thank goodness he did. That's the end of Chapter 3, The Mustard Seed, in the book The Xanue, Befriending the Bigfoot Forest People. It's written by Dr. Matthew A. Johnson. I'm Willie Rose. Next chapter, Chapter 4, guess what? The coco de mer seed.